Hello, my name is Plamen, and in this video I will demonstrate how rotation of the vertebrae during scoliosis occurs. Okay, so this is a rubber band. It represents a connective tissue band. Okay, so it has elasticity and flexibility. I want to show here just this band so that you can see what I mean when I say twist of the band or rotation of the band. Okay, so here is a stretched band, and here I'm twisting the band. This is what I mean when I say twisting or rotating the band. Okay, so here is the rubber bands model that explains scoliosis and the rotation of the vertebrae. So here I have two rubber bands and 4 toothpicks. The two rubber bands represent the womb bow connective tissue bands, and the 4 toothpicks represent 4 womb bow vertebrae. I have only 4 because the rubber bands are too short and I couldn't find longer, but this works just as well. Okay, so first let's show how the concave and the convex sides form. Okay, so I'm pulling only on the right rubber band, and immediately the concave side forms, which is the left side, and the convex side forms on the right side, which is the stretched side, and the left side is the weak side in scoliosis. And here this is only in one plane. Okay, and here if I do the same thing on the other band, I'm pulling on the left band and the concave side forms on the right side, and the convex shape forms on the left side. Here, if you match the tips of the toothpicks, they form a convex line, and here they form a concave line. Okay, so this is just for the one for one plane, for the concave and the convex sides. Okay, so here is how the rotation of the vertebrae forms. Okay, so now I will twist the bands in the same direction, meaning I will twist and rotate only the right band to the left side, and again the left band to the left side. So here I will only twist them. Here I'm twisting the band, and same thing on the left side. Okay, so this is when there is no stretch. However, with scoliosis there is stretch. Now I'm pulling on the right band, and you can see, and I'm not pulling on the left band, which is the weak side, and here again pulling only on the right side, and here the toothpicks they immediately go in another plane. Here they are in another plane just from the twist, and the exercise is literally the same. I'm just pulling again. Okay, so here without the twist or rotation, they go in the same plane. Here in the same plane. This is without twisting the twist of the bands, and here I will again twist the band only in one direction, twisting the left band now, and again I'm pulling only on the right band, and the left band I'm loosening. Immediately the first toothpick goes underneath, the second one goes underneath, and then the third, and they're all in a different plane here. And this is the rotation, and this is how the rotation happens, because the right band is not only stretched, but it also twists in the same direction as the opposite side band, and the normal way is for both bands to twist in opposite directions to each other, meaning they both have to twist in the same direction, so that balance is maintained. And here I will demonstrate again on the right side. So I will twist the right band to the right. I will twist the right band to the right, and I will twist the left band to the right. And now I'm pulling only on the left band, and the right band goes underneath. Here it goes underneath. Again, forming both the convex shapes and the rotation of the vertebrae. I'm pulling only on one. Here, I'm pulling only on the left band, and here without twisting of the band. Without twist, it goes in the same. They go in the same plane without the twist. And here with the twist of the band, I will explain in a short while how the twisting happens and how this actually occurs in the human body. Here with the twist. Twist in the same direction, meaning this is the twist is to the right of both bands. Here. The bands, the toothpicks roll underneath, and they go in another plane, which forms the rotation of the vertebrae. Okay, I will explain in a short while how this looks like and happens in the human body. Here I forgot to show, if you twist both bands in the same direction, meaning in the proper direction, meaning I'm twisting the right band to the left, and I'm twisting the left band to the right equally. And now if there is one band is being stretched, so there is no rotation of the vertebrae. The convex and the concave sides, there is no rotation of the toothpicks, because both bands are rotating in the same side. But again, scoliosis can occur where there is a concave and a convex side. So the convex is the right side, and you can see that the tips here form a line, a curved line, and the left band, which I'm not stretching, forms the concave line. And again, if I'm just twisting on both bands, so the right band is twisted to the left, the left band is twisted to the right, no rotation, no rotation. They stay in the same plane again, and if I pull only on the left band, there is no rotation. They stay in the same plane. Whereas, and again I will show it, if I twist the right band, here, it immediately rotates. It immediately rotates. The left band is being twisted to the right, and the right band is being twisted to the right. And I'm pulling on the left band. I'm pulling on the left band. Here parallel. The bands where my fingers are parallel. I'm pulling only on the left band, and there is a twist. There is a rotation in the opposite plane. Not the opposite plane, in another plane. And here I will twist the band only to the left side, the right band to the left side again, and there is no rotation. There is no rotation. They stay in the same plane. Here I'm holding both bands, no rotation. They keep in the same plane. Okay, let's see how this works in the human body. Muscles, they contract and they have a direction of contraction. The bands go through the muscles, and when the muscles contract, they twist and rotate the band in the same direction. Okay, so for the wombo vertebrae and the wombo vertebrae muscles and the bands that go through those muscles, the directions are like this. So this is the left band and the left side muscles, then this is the right side muscles, and this is the middle line. And the left side muscles, on the left side of the wombo vertebrae, they contract and they rotate the band and twist the band in this direction towards the spine. And on the right side, they again it's the same because it's mirrored. So here is how it would look like when the bands are twisted and rotated. So the left band, the left side muscles, they contract and they twist the band toward the right. And again on the right band, the muscles on the right, they contract and they twist the band to the left. And this is how the twisting and rotation happens. This is the proper direction of which the wombo muscles, when they contract, this is the proper direction in which they contract and in which they twist and rotate the bands. This is how you keep balance. If you're upright, you switch between one and the other. Now, the muscles, these muscles, you can contract them consciously. They only contract passively, meaning they only contract when they receive information from the outside. So if you're standing on your 2 feet, you're receiving information to these bands, and you're constantly switching between one and the other band, and so the muscles, they contract in this direction. This is the direction of contraction, and when they relax, they relax in this direction, the opposite direction, outside of the spine. This is the direction of relaxation. So relax, contract. These are the directions. So when the muscles contract, they twist the band to the right, the left band to the right, and when they relax, the band unwinds to the left. Unwinds to the left of the spine. This is the right band, and again with the right band, the right band contracts. The muscles of the right band contract to the left, to the left, and when they relax, the band unwinds to the right. And this is how the twisting and rotation of the bands, the direction happens. This is the right direction of contraction of the muscles of the wombo vertebra. And again, these muscles, they contract from information that comes from the outside, meaning you can't contract them consciously, meaning they only contract from information of the outside. So let's say, and they relax. I'll explain how they relax. So let's say you want to turn to the right. You start the motion, and these muscles have to contract, so that you can go to the right. So these muscles, they contract, and these muscles on the right side of the spine, they relax, and now you can turn to the right. You are making a turn to the right when the muscles on the left, they contract, and when the muscles on the right, they relax. This is how you turn. And so in a person without scoliosis, when you've made the turn, these muscles, they relax. The muscles on the left, they relax, and the muscles on the right contract, meaning they bring you back in balance. So the bends, here is how it happens. So the left bend, the muscles of the left bend, they contract to the right, and so it twists to the right, and now you're turning. And the muscles on the right side, on the right bend, they relax, and the bend relaxes to the right, and so now you're turning. And so when you've made the whole turn, now you're going back to balance by receiving information from the right band, and the muscles on the right, they start contracting, and I'm twisting now the right band to the left because the muscles of the lumbar vertebrae, they are contracting to the left, and on the opposite side, those muscles, they contract, they relax. The muscles of the left band, they relax, and they are back in balance, and so the bands are not twisted too much or too little in any way. And this is how in a person without scoliosis, this is how how a person moves, and how the muscles behave, and how the bands behave in everyday life by contracting and relaxing of the muscles. The bands twist and rotate in opposite directions, and this happens throughout the day unconsciously. You don't think about it because you don't have to, and you have energy to do everything you want, and you move around in space unobstructed. Okay, now let's see how the muscles contract and relax in a person with scoliosis. Okay, so again, the directions. So we have the left band and the left side muscles of the lumbar vertebrae, and here I will show the right side. Okay, so you make a turn to the right. You want to make a turn to the right, so you make a turn. The left band, the left side muscles, they contract, and so the left band twists. Okay, so it twists to the right. And now the muscles on the right side, they have to relax. The proper direction is to the left, but the right side muscles, they relax. So they relax, and they make a turn to the right. They don't contract. And so the band of the right band that goes through the muscles of on the right side of the lumbar vertebrae, it relaxes, and so the band unwinds and loosens. It loosens, and the band on the left, it tightens and stretches. Now the band stretches. Now, in a person with scoliosis, if in a person without scoliosis, when you go back to, you've made the turn, so you've made the turn, and when you go back, these muscles, they contract again, and these muscles, they relax, and so you can have the bands again in balance. However, in a person with scoliosis, the problem is that this band never receives information from the outside. So instead of contracting properly, the muscles, they're kept relaxed, and they keep relaxing, and they never contract. And so even though you've made a turn, now you've twisted. Now the left band, the left side muscles and the band is twisted to the right, and it keeps getting twisted, and the right side of the right side, the muscles of the lumbar vertebrae, they are relaxed, and the band stays in this state. Now, Now, the way that the muscles actively uh, relax is by having motion going through them. So when the motion goes through those muscles, they will contract, but motion doesn't go through those muscles, so they don't receive information, so they don't relax actively. Now, you're a person with scoliosis, and you're always in this unbalanced state where the bands are twisted towards one side. And so uh, and so now you keep moving around in this unbalanced state, and of course you get tired very quickly, which is very common, and it is a known problem with scoliosis. You get very tired, so you go to bed, and the bands and the muscles, they relax passively, meaning that they simply relax passively and they unwind for a little while. But of course you can't lie in bed all day, so you try to go back to doing something that you like, and you can't, because you still are not receiving information from the right band, which is from the right band and the right side muscles, which keep being relaxed, and the left side uh, muscles keep being contracted, and they keep stretching the band. Now, and you keep going in this state, and like I showed before, the right band gets twisted to the right, the left band gets twisted to the right, and this is becoming the unbalanced state that you are in. And eventually, with time, the right band keeps getting twisted to the opposite side, and the left band keeps getting twisted to the right side, and so you have a band that here gets relaxed and loosened, and you have a band that gets stretched, and tightened. The left band is tightened and the right band is loosened, while the muscles on the right side, they are weak and they don't contract in the proper direction. If the muscles could contract in the proper direction, they would unwind this band, and it would go in the balanced state, in the normal state, and so you would have to relax this side of the muscles. The left band would have to relax, which would unwind the band in the right direction and would bring balance to the body. But this doesn't happen, and so you always go in the same direction. Now, this is only for the wombo vertebrae and the wombo bands, but there are also, so these are two bands. I'm showing you an example with two bands. So these are the wombo vertebrae and the wombo vertebrae muscle direction contraction. But there are also 6 more bands. The sacral, I will show here the sacral vertebrae. Their normal contraction of these muscles, of the vertebral muscles, is to the outside of the spine, and the bands also they cross the spine, so they connect on the opposite side of the sacral vertebrae, which is the sacrum. And but those muscles they when they contract, they twist the band in the opposite side. This is the normal direction when they contract. So when they receive information from walking and from anywhere else, they contract in this direction, and when they relax in the opposite direction towards the spine. And here the thoracic vertebrae and the thoracic bands, they contract in the outside of the spine, outside the middle line, and the cervical vertebrae muscles, they contract towards the spine, and these are the proper directions of the muscles contraction and consequently the twisting and rotating of the bands that are attached to them. And there are 8 of those bands, and here I showed only the wombo vertebrae bands, and the model with the toothpicks was for these for the wombo vertebrae and how they and how the muscles on the wombo vertebrae, how they contract, the direction they contract, and how they twist, and how they twist the bands. And when there is an disbalance between the two bands, how they just stay. Okay, so what activities to do so that you can get motion going through the bands, so that the muscles of the spine can contract instead of stay relaxed, and the muscles that are constantly contracting so that they can relax. Here are the activities. So walking backwards, uphill, downhill, upstairs, downstairs. You have to walk backwards so that you can get motion going through the unused bands, and so that you can relax the used bands. This is done by going backwards. This is what I have found to work. Next activity, and this basically works out your feet and your spine connections. Okay, so walking backwards is the first thing. If you don't walk at all, you should also start walking every day for 30 to 60 minutes or even more. You should walk every day. You have to walk. If you have scoliosis, you have to walk. You have to walk a lot. Because when you walk, you get information from the outside world, and whether you like it or not, especially if you're outside, you constantly get information from your eyes, from your ears, from your senses, and this information goes through the brain and goes through the spine, and then activates, and you activate in response. So just from receiving the information from the outside, not when you're walking on a treadmill, but walking outside in nature, you receive information, and so you react to that information, and so the muscles, they will get this information and they will contract accordingly. Now you have to do this, you have to walk in barefoot shoes. Otherwise, with very thin sole, otherwise you just stop receiving the signals from your feet that you are getting, and that's why you don't get the information that you need to your brain and to your spine, and the muscles on the spine, they don't contract, and so you stop and you start twisting in the wrong way, and you never develop, and then you get scoliosis, and then bad. Okay, so walking backwards. Now you have to also, because the ends of the connective tissue bands, they are on the fingers, the pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, without the thumbs, of both arms and legs. Now the ends are, so when you walk, you are working out the feet and those senses, those sensory units, and and so you have to work out also the fingers, so those sensory units. So if you don't do anything with your hands, playing on your phone doesn't count, because you're not using your fingers, you're mainly using your thumbs. So you have to start doing something with your fingers. I personally, what I did and what I know that works is I started playing with clay and modeling with clay, and now I actually do some sculpture. So when you work out the fingers, you are receiving information to all of those fingers and all of those bands, and when you receive information, you're training your body, and this information you're training your mind and body, and this information can go all the way through the spinal muscles, because that's where the bands go through, and so they receive this information. So if you want to push with one finger, you have to actually use your spine muscles to do that, and so when they contract, they have to twist in the proper direction, or they have to relax, and that is how you receive information from using your fingers. So if you don't have clay, you can do something else. You can the typewriting is okay, kneading bread, sewing, anything that you make with your hands, handmade items, anything that you can do with your hands, so that but not just your hand, so that you can use your fingers. The fingers is what is needed to be used, because if you just work out with your hands and your palms, so for example, when you exercise, when you use a dumbbell or a handlebar or for anything like that, you're not actually using your fingers. The signals have to come from the fingers all the way to the spine, not just the hand, because if you're only using your hand and your palm, the signals, they go through the connective tissue nets, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Okay, so to recap: walking backwards, doing something with your fingers, like modeling, like kneading, sewing, anything else that works out your fingers, your index finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky finger. And now, to connect all of the both the hands and the fingers and the feet and the spinal muscles, you have to walk on all fours. So you have to go down on all fours, meaning you put your hands on the ground, and you put your feet on the ground with the elbows in the air and the knees in the air, and now you start crawling. This is called crawling. You don't use your knees to crawl, you don't use your elbows, you just put your hands and feet on the ground, and then you start making stretches, and this will make you will receive information to your spine, and in that way the spinal muscles will start contracting and growing. And you have to do this both forwards and backwards, and both when you're facing upwards and when you're facing downwards to the ground. I think one is called bear crawling and the other is called crab crawling. So you do both of these activities, forwards and backwards, without having any other part of your body touching the ground, meaning you're on all fours, only on your hands and your feet, and this is how you move around. And these activities I have all performed, and they work, and they are for beginners. So this is just to get the motion going, just to have motion going through your muscles, so that they can receive information, and so that they can contract and they can grow, and they can grow stronger. This is just in the beginning. So for beginning, walking backwards, uphill, downhill, upstairs, downstairs, backwards, using your fingers and hands for handcrafting, so that you can so that you can strengthen those muscles and receive information from your hands as well. And bear crawling and crab crawling. So this is the beginning. Okay. Thank you for watching so far, and I'll try to get more information going out soon. Bye.